Yo, the black light, continuing with the heat of a nightmare. The heat in the heat in the nightmare. Can you imagine how the Palestinians are feeling right now? But the whole planet is upside down. But they don't give, or they don't recognize the black man. He went through what the Palestinians are going through for 400 years, terrorized for 400 years. At least the Palestinians, when they emerge from this, if it's still being any of them left, they had a language, their names, their culture, their religion, their God, if it be any of them left. So I found out the real reason why this is happening. Biden came out and said it himself. He said they want to put a railway, a train, then a pipeline for oil to go to Europe, connected to Saudi Arabia. So he's calling a ceasefire because Saudi Arabia don't want what's going on to the Palestinians to continue. So they beefing about it. So evidently, it was a conversation between the White House, Biden, and his boys, and Saudi Arabia. See, Saudi Arabia is supposed to be a Muslim. And how can you sit by being a Muslim and watch your brothers, sisters, fellow Muslims get wiped off the map? And then you got the Iranians that the White House want to do battle with. The White House want to go to war with the Iranians. See, they were Sufi Muslims, Shiite Muslims at odds with each other. They don't want to recognize Master Farad Muhammad, Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They don't, they have grown to not like the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because they start believing that Allah was a spook, like the Christians. And they tamper with the Quran too now. Even to this very day, I hear them talk about how Western civilization, how they colonize all the dark planets, all the dark people of the planet, how they colonized all the dark people of the planet, and had wars with a lot of them. Most of them took territory. They don't want to say the Caucasian. They call it the West. Then you got the so-called Arabs or the Middle Easterners living here in America, calling themselves American Muslims. And they don't want to recognize the Nation of Islam. You got black brothers and sisters under the tutelage of Imam Wahid Muhammad, who's the blood son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that was at odds with his father, ridiculed his father, and took the Nation of Islam sold they had almost 170, it could have been more, $1 million in assets and buildings and banks, airplanes, boats, doing commerce with Gaddafi and the brothers over across the pond, brothers and sisters in Africa. They was crazy about them, you know. But the United States was working to turn those Middle Easterners against the leadership of the Middle East. So a lot of them came over here, you know, and came up to Detroit where I'm at, went to Dearborn, and a lot of Pakistanis and is in Hamtramck, where Elijah Muhammad used to live, where Master Farad used to come and visit the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The mayor of Hamtramck. Now, Hamtramck is located right inside of Detroit, just like Highland Park is located right inside Detroit. Dearborn is inside Detroit, kind of on the outskirts a little bit, but its borderline is in Detroit in some parts. We got the largest Middle Eastern population in the whole United States. They're not digging that right now. They're not digging the Democrats right now. You know. But they divided just like the black man here. The once slave prisoners of war kidnapped black man, he's at odds with himself, because you got the Christian black people hating on the Nation of Islam. And then you got inside the Nation of Islam, when Farrakhan broke away with Imam Wallace Dean Muhammad, then he broke away from Imam Wallace Dean Muhammad, tried to pick up on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then he broke away again, went to Scientology. Now he's you see him back again talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but it's not set up the same way it used to be. You know, it's not set up clear cut where Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the messenger of Allah. He's leaning towards Iran a little bit, talking about Farrakhan. I don't know if he's still into that Scientology stuff. So the nation is kind of fragmented. The Nation of Islam is kind of fragmented. Because even though it's been 45 years since the departure, put it like that, I don't want to keep saying he's dead, because he's still alive. His works, he's still on YouTube right now. You know. But if you can't take the way the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tell the truth, then you got Farrakhan to kind of sugarcoat it a little bit. You know. He started off, when he came back to the Nation of Islam, he started off strong. So you don't know, it's hard for me now, y'all young brothers and sisters by y'all being freshly here, y'all fresh, you know, a lot of y'all are trapped. But old school brothers, like myself, we don't know, when he gonna go up, when he gonna go off again into another direction. It's still kind of fuzzy about Khalid Muhammad and Brother Farrakhan. See, I used to uh, Supreme Minister John Muhammad, the spiritual and blood brother of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, made me a minister for him. I had a radio ministry, a radio and television ministry. And then I gift my spot to the Journal of Truth, which we created by Supreme Minister John Muhammad. On an all-black station, WHPR, ran and operated by a brother called R.J. Watkins. He had a simulcast going on with the radio and the television. So we could simulcast on radio and television. We simulcast one of Minister Farrakhan's lectures over at New Bethel. That's Aretha Franklin's father's church. And I orchestrated that simulcast program over there, set it up. It came across pretty good, put Brother R.J. Watkins on the map, because he got a low-powered radio station in Highland Park, the same place that Supreme Minister John Muhammad had the Muhammad's Temple #1 in Highland Park. I got them two together. So we tried to get Minister Farrakhan to endorse the station, but we couldn't never talk to him. We couldn't never talk direct to him. We couldn't never get him to come to the station. But he sent representatives, He sent this minister, Daoud, because I used to be in Farrakhan's temple, mosque, because my mother, like I told you, she took me out when I was 7 years old. That was a long time ago, in the 50s, man. And I didn't come back to when Farrakhan was running. When he started, when he tried to revitalize the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam after coming from Wallace D. Muhammad. I didn't know what was going on. So I went in there blind, thinking it was going to be like when Malcolm and them was in there. And my uncle was in the nation before Malcolm, and he pulled my mother and his mother and his sister in the nation My mother, she got in it right when I was born in 1946. She was going there while I was in her stomach. And then after I was born, she stayed in there for 7 years after I was born. Then she got out of it, mad with them brothers. I didn't understand, I was mad at her for pulling me out. She told me, she wouldn't go into detail, but she told me, she said, them brothers wasn't right, and she told her brother, my uncle, about it, and he was on the side of the brothers. But now I know it was a whole lot of hypocritical brothers doing some things to the believers, and it came to manifestation when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad died. And Wallace D. Muhammad took over. So all of them were hypocrites, because the teachings is there will be no successor after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Allah would choose the successor. But it didn't happen like that. Plus, he was in disagreement with his father. His father kicked him out the temple several times, and he said that the last time he came back, he said, I don't want him back, but it's up to the temple. If they want you back, talking about Imam Warfdeen, he said, if they want you back, speaking about the temple, the believers in the temple, if they want you back, and a lot of them, voted for to have him back in. And so now during this period of time, I wasn't involved in the temple. I've been out ever since I was 7 years old. And that was when 1975, I was about in my 20s, in my middle 20s, somewhere, and I was doing the music. I was into music, heavy. I was, with some brothers who had a hit record. It was a local hit, and we was gigging, went to New York, and a couple of places like that, all around Detroit, Canada, and was getting ready to go over to England. They wanted us over there. The brother was scared. I didn't really know, but the leader of the organization, the music band, was a brother who was scared to fly. I wasn't too particular about flying myself, though. I flew though. It was a group called the Ink Spots, old time. They was back then in the 20s and 30s, and I got hooked up with them and flew to Spokane, Washington. My heart was in my throat all the time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about in the heat of the nightmare. And those times were way better than these times. But y'all don't realize that, though, because most of y'all wasn't back there. in those times. Some of y'all just got here. Some of y'all just got here in the 90s. Some of y'all just got here in the 70s. I was 20-something in the 70s. You know, those of you who got here in the 70s, y'all be in y'all 50s and 60s. I'm with the baby boomers, man. You know, so I done seen a whole lot of, I couldn't say changes jumping off. Escalation, I could say. The nightmare escalated, you know. So we've been calm, you know. Our mothers believed in that almighty dollar, and she was afraid. Our mothers and fathers, grandfathers. But in the 60s, that's when I was like a teenager. When Kennedy got killed, I was in I was a freshman in high school. I just got in there, all white school. You know, I'll tell you about that some other time. But I done seen so many trials and tribulations that I know y'all not aware of. That's why you get censored on brothers like myself. We get censored. Cause see, a lot of brothers, that's when the dope, you know, that's when the drugs hit the ghetto around the 60s, around the Vietnam War, see. And they were shipping, the army was shipping drugs back in body bags. I bet you never heard of that before. Did you know the army had warehouses full of drugs? Yeah. Plus, not long after that, Noriega, in the Mexican or the South American cartel, they was growing drugs, and they was shipping drugs over here. You know, every now and then they first it'd be like first it was like weed, you know. That wasn't too bad. You hardly can get hooked on weed, but you can get hooked on it. You get hooked on anything. But you just chill out on weed, you know. But they up the ante with heroin. So let's put heroin in the neighborhood. It used to come in penny caps. You know, you could get a little capsule of heroin for about well, you could get a real little one for about $1. And it wasn't stepped on. You know, that little cap you could almost OD off that cap. Then they start cutting it with lactose and milk sugar and stepping on it 7 times and 10 times, but you still be getting blowed, nodding and carrying on. Then they put cocaine. Now this is around the time, you know, when Richard Pryor was freebasing, what they call freebase. Then they got the idea to turn the cocaine into crack. And crack was deadly, you know. And Now they got fentanyl. So the game don't change, it just changed names. Because brothers, they trying to get out of it. They're in a nightmare. They're trying to escape the nightmare. When you go walk through the streets of New York, you see homeless, you see migrants, plus you got your regular gangsters, thugs and stuff, But the rest of the country, some of us don't feel that, But we gonna feel the inflation though, We gonna feel the prices going up and the money staying the same. You ain't getting no raise in your salary, but the cost of living is going up. They going up on the rent, going up on the food. And you're trying to play like it's normal. In the meantime, you watching all these atrocities on television. A whole nation of people getting wiped off the map. But see, the brothers over here, even myself included, when the Arabs, so-called Arabs, because they're not the real Arabs, but when the so-called Arabs came over here and took over our neighborhood, they took over where the Jews was at. See, in Detroit, when I came on the west side of Detroit, it was the Jews and the Catholics. Now the white Catholics, the mafia. That's the mafiosi. And the Jews is the Zionists, the Illuminati. That's what they used to be called. They got a new name now. They changed their name up, but the game is still the same. See, now they don't like you talking like this. But I ain't got too many Jews anyway. And so y'all ain't, a lot of them y'all ain't gonna listen to me because they got y'all distracted with them half-stepping brothers. They're selling you out. They're charging you. They got a PayPal and they monetize their station. I'm not monetized. And times are so bad now that I should be monetized. But nah, I can't do that. Because I want y'all to know I'm for real. It's just not a payday for me. It's a matter of life and death to save my people. Don't say that even Don B. Elijah Muhammad said, don't say you might get took out too. He said the white man's days are numbered. He got a stitch in the time because Allah having mercy trying to wake y'all up because y'all don't yet know who you are, who you really are. So I want you to think about what I'm about to say real tight. This is to the Christians. Now, the Christians love the name Jesus. The black Christians love the name Jesus. And we wasn't up on Jesus because when we came over here, we was saying Allah. We were Muslims. So the white man told y'all that uh, the Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago discovered Islam. So the foreign-born Arabs that came over here, they want you to go with that. You see? Then they came over to our neighborhoods and took up the same game that the Jews put on us, selling us tainted meat, charging us interest. See, because a truly Islamic society don't charge you interest. In the Bible, they call it usury. It's in the Bible that usury is not permitted. It says, Prophet Muhammad told him, he say, like, if you in a hole and you want to go to your brother to get some money to get out that hole, and he loan you the money, but then he gonna charge you interest on it, you'll never get out the hole, because once you pay the loan back, once you pay your debt, you got another debt with the guy that loaned you the money. And you'll never get out the hole. You might be 100 years old trying to get out the hole. Well, check this out. Think of this now. You owe the whole United States is in trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars worth of debt. With interest. Now, who do they owe that money to? The Rothschilds, the banking industry, the one that got over in the banking industry, went and bought off the Congress, collected all the gold and silver, which it says in the Constitution, that's the only money it is, precious metal, copper, silver, and gold. Then Roosevelt made it a crime to have gold in your house. If you get caught with gold in your house, you went to prison or had to pay a fine, or both. Why is no one, the Nation of Islam talk, they tell you what's happening, but they got you hating us. Now, back to Jesus. I could go in the Bible right now and show you where the Jews were trying to kill Jesus. And then they say that Pontius Pilate and the Jews, the Pharisees and the whatnot, brought Jesus to Pontius Pilate, which is a Catholic, which is a Roman. They weren't Catholic back then, but they were Romans. And the Jews had Jesus up on trial because they wanted to get rid of Jesus, which is not his real name, but for clarification, for the certain purpose of what I'm talking about, I'm going to use that word Jesus. And then they nailed him to a cross and killed him. And Brother Seti, he kind of put this real nice, he say, if he God or the Son of God, he didn't want that to go to that cross. But Seti only got that version of it. In the Quran say he never went to the cross. They never did kill him in the cross. At that cross. He never get nailed to the cross. And then Allah and the person Master Farad Muhammad told Honorable Elijah Muhammad the same thing, that he didn't get nailed to the cross. The Bible say he didn't get nailed to the cross. It's the way it reads, see. Old English is what they talked back in those days. We talking American now. A derivative of English, Old English, the Queen's English. But that's where they trick us at. You know. So holiday come, they sending money to Ukraine, sending money to Israel, and we in debt. They don't know if they're gonna still close the government down or not. They keep extending it. Now you know the election coming up. Now who do we owe those trillions and trillions of dollars to? Is there gonna be an election when they got Trump on trial? They trying to put Biden on trial. Are you gonna vote? What has voting gotten you? They're not putting money back into the infrastructure of the United States. They sending money to other places, trying to build a train and a pipeline from Saudi Arabia over to Europe, so they could pump that oil in. See, y'all ain't paying attention to the news because y'all looking at Sinetta. See, now's the time that black people should get together to unite. But some of y'all want to be corrupt, unrighteous, like the white man. Y'all want to follow his lead. Some of y'all Uncle Tom scared to death, just like those Arabs that came over here, so-called Arabs that came over to the United States and set up shop in our neighborhoods. You know, they run everything, man. They run the car lots. They run your corner store. They run your supermarkets. They Arabs run that, and the Jews, that was their position. That's why y'all don't feel, few of y'all feel something for the Palestinians. But y'all out of it. But it's nothing done without the permission of Allah. Because Allah is the best knower. Why is he allowing, if there's a God, and Jesus, y'all want to say it's Jesus, because it's in Palestine, over there in Palestine, in the Gaza Strip, all over there, the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians were living side by side. But the Israelis bombed them too. Told them to get out too. See, they different. They Zionists. It's Zionist Christians. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff that you need to know that is not being told to you, and you refuse to listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Just listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. His videos still come on. You know. You even got the Supreme Wisdom lessons that come on. Just type that in. Supreme Wisdom Plus or the Supreme Wisdom Lessons. Type in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Savior's Day 1974. So The brothers now, they haven't regained all what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had. They still talking about Farrakhan and Wallace did this and that and other, but that's been 45 plus years ago, and they still haven't got the farms back. But Farrakhan talking about uniting, let's get the farms back. He had the farms, but what happened to the farms? You know, if we had them farms, we wouldn't have to worry about them poisoning the meat, putting stuff in the meat. You know, we wouldn't have to worry about hospitals, because just before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad left us, he had a hospital, an all-black hospital on the board in the blueprint. They never even tried to get that. And a whole lot of the brothers went orthodox. You know, they hate the Nation of Islam, you know. But y'all want to go orthodox, and look what kind of problems they having over there. You know, they're against each other. You got the Sufi against the Shiite. They might join up now. This might bring them together. Maybe this is why Allah is letting all this happen, to unite the whole Muslim world. Because you don't never hear him talking about the black Muslims over here. You know, they don't even want to mention us and what we went through for 400 years. Now, a lot of them is upset with the American Muslim, you know, because American Muslim, they wanted to come over here. They didn't want to stay in their own country and fix that up. They wanted to migrate over here. Came in our neighborhoods, you know, took over real estate. In Detroit, the Arabs own damn near all the real estate. When it used to be Jews, now it's the Arabs, the pale Arabs. But Prophet Muhammad didn't invent Islam. When you look into the Quran, it says Jesus was a Muslim. It says Moses was a Muslim, Abraham, and all of them was Muslims. Because y'all don't know what that word Muslim really means. Y'all just think it means peace. Let's take it to meaning divine order. God is divine order. You know? Ain't nothing out of order with the creator of the universe. Everything is in divine order. That's peace. Everything is created and doing like it's supposed to do. Now, the black man is the direct descendant from the creator of the heavens and the earth. He's in our DNA. How do you know? Look at your complexion, black man. You got melanin in you. Even the most lightest ones of us got melanin. We could pass for white. That's in our DNA. We got the black gene and the brown gene, the dominant gene and recessive gene. So we can get the darkest of dark, you know, to the lightest, to the light, damn near white. That's how we created the Caucasian. But I'm not going to get off into that. Because I'm talking about this nightmare that we in. You know, who put us in this mess? Your slave master. See, when he went to the scriptures and found out it's all talking about the black man, he had to flip the script. You know, so King James, with Constantine, the rappers and all them, they flipped the script on us. You know, I don't want to get off into that either. I'm going to tell you, in the Bible, it shows you how to get out of this. Now, I'm going to go over here and get this King James version of the Bible. I'm going to chapter 14, first verse. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Okay, now you got to have your father's name written in your forehead. Now, what's your father's name? The Creator. Allah. And Allah got 99 names. Allah got 99 names. 99 names, 99 attributes. Qualities and aspects of a man. Now we're talking about the cosmos. That was the name of that song called Dog Star that I played in the beginning. And that's the serious song, but I'm not going to get off into that. But I want to make you aware that all of this, the atmosphere, the cosmos, is in divine order. It took a supreme intelligent human being to do this. We could put it like this: supreme intelligence to do this. It didn't jump off in chaos like the white man wants you to believe that at one time he was talking about the Big Bang Theory. It was a big explosion. You know, there was a big explosion, but not when the creation was made. The creation was made or created in divine order. Everything is in order, in its equal spot, doing what it do. You know, and everything produces after its own kind. What you talking about? Black light. That seed. Okay. The trees have seeds. The plant life has seeds. The birds, they have seeds to produce other birds of their kind. The tree got seeds to produce. Now you got variety of trees. You know, the oak tree produces after the oak tree. You know, the pine tree produces after the pine tree. Divine order, man. The animals, the horse produce after a horse. Now man can could graft, man can manipulate the seed, or the DNA, or however you want to say it. But they produce after their own kind. Man got a seed. From that seed comes roots. From that root comes a tree. From that tree comes tree limbs. From that tree limbs comes leaves. From them leaves comes fruit. Then the fruit drops back down to the ground and rotten, and that seed penetrates the earth. The rich, fertile soil. Now we pattern almost like after that pattern right there. The man has a seed. Now the nation of gods and earth. This is what they're talking about. We the gods. Well, we thought God meant, somebody that could control you and make you a slave or whatever. Well, if you want him to be your God, or the white man to be your God, because he's your devil right now, he could be your God. And look what you're going through. But really, that word God, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, means power and force. So we got power and force in us. Now, some of y'all do Qigong or Qi, and Qi tell you they got Qi that can heal you, So now you got what you call electromagnetic force. Now they don't, y'all ain't into that. If I start talking about electromagnetic force that you got within you, I'll probably lose you right there. But let's talk about the atom. A lot of y'all don't even want to deal with that. Y'all don't want to know about that. So I might have to bring y'all up to the atom, because we're talking about this nightmare that we in, but you can get out of it. Once you know that Allah is your father or your creator, and you got his DNA in you, and you know that what y'all call God, see, God and Allah is two different meanings. Allah means the all in all. The all in all is everything, And God means power and force, the possessor of power and force. But the white man, he don't use that word Allah. He used that word God. Sometimes he used the word Yahweh, But all those are good names of Allah. But they're just aspects of Allah. They just attributes of Allah. Now, if you got one of his names, well, what's one of his names? What's one of his 99 names? Kareem, Nasser, Omar, Rahman, Abdullah. You got one of those names that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was giving out. You cool. But now he's not around no more. Master Farad, don't nobody know where he at. We can guess, but we really don't know. So who gonna give you a name? You better just grab one and get out your slave master's name. Now I ain't gonna go through it now, but you know, those of you who go to Bible class, it says the mark of the beast wanna 666. He wanna put the mark of the beast in your forehead, you know, or in your hands. And if you got the name of the beast, that's what that's talking about. You got a social security number. You know, you got a number for a name. You got the slave master name for a name, which makes you his permanent slave unless you wake up. Now, once you wake up and get a name, get one of Allah's name, mentally, you out of his jurisdiction. You know, mentally, you out of his jurisdiction. And that's all you need to be, mentally out of his jurisdiction. You got the names of God now. One of God's attributes. Now, that's a whole lot of brothers and sisters take Allah's names in vain. You know, a lot of them do it. You know, I'm not going to go through those that were hypocrites, but you still might, you know, get saved because these are the last days for the beast, for the white man. Now, some white people are a little bit better than the others, and they kind of believe, you know, you got a whole bunch of white Muslims, you know, their days gonna be extended. But now, if you're gonna keep the white man's name, the beast's name, you're gonna go down with the beast, man. It's as simple as that. You refuse to try to be righteous. So you're gonna still eat pig, you're gonna still gamble, you're gonna still drink, you're gonna still hop around, you're gonna still try to pimp, you're gonna still kill your brothers, you know, you're gonna still get high. Don't you know they putting something in your get high? In the alcohol. They putting something in that. They putting something in your weed. You know. They putting something in your alcohol, your beer. You know, something even in your meat. You don't even know if you're getting real meat no more. You could be getting dead people that had the virus. You know, grounded up into some hamburgers. You know, thinking you get meat. You don't know what this guy's doing. You know, he's diabolical, man. You know. So if you study, you know, now you need to get your mind off of Sinetta and them, because they ain't gonna do nothing but have you arguing back and forth, man, and all that ain't gonna get you out of it. You're gonna make them rich. You know. You're gonna make them what's that brother name? Morris World TV. You're gonna make him rich. You know. And you got brothers talking about Poppy right now. talking about he faking the flavor. He shoot, you know, he homosexual and they gonna get rich off of that. And then he talking about Tupac, Suge Knight. You know, they gonna get rich off of that. But they ain't talking about what I'm talking about. Because they don't want to get censored. Now this might not even post up. I can't see if I got the way they got my screen. I don't know if I did it. Like I told you, I'm learning how to work this. I'm an old school brother trying to do a new school trick. Now how the United States work this thing is they con you and then they brainwash you, then they program you. After they brainwash you, they program you into how they want you to think. So they use all the news media, all the movies, all the commercials to program you into thinking the way they want you to think. And how they can tell you thinking that way is how you vote, who you vote for. Now, a lot of brothers used to hate Trump. A lot of brothers and sisters used to hate Trump and love Biden. Now, a lot of them love Trump and hate Biden. And you ain't woke. Why you used to hate Trump? Because he's a racist, right? I heard Eddie Griffin say that he take the lesser of two evils. He said he'd rather for the white man to call him a nigga to his face than behind his back. What kind of sense do that make, Brother Griffin? See, they in that Hollywood thing, see. Griffin, Eddie Griffin, all your entertainers, they trapped into the game. They can't come right out and tell you who the beast is, or they won't make no more money, which really ain't money. It's an IOU. That's that $1 trillion debt. And so the white man get his power or get his energy and his time from you. You the one that granting him his time because you love having him around. You so used to him, you can't imagine how the world would be without him. But I tell you one thing, you wouldn't be in a war. You wouldn't be. How you gonna destroy God, man, or God's descendants and the earth? But those of you who don't know who you are and believe in yourself and believe that the creator DNA is in your tree, your family tree, you're weak. It's just like being born. And they say being born again. Now let's go through this. Let's illustrate this right here. I'm gonna give you an illustration of a birth. When a hue man, person with a hue, get birth, he have to be birthed by a seed. Now, the average man, has millions and millions of seeds in him. Sperm. We call them sperm. And he need that woman to reproduce himself. He got to produce his kind after himself, you know, and he need the woman. So she's the second self of that man, you know. Just like the tree dropping a seed to the earth. That's Mother Earth, Mother Nature, you know. That's the black woman. Now, he shoots out millions and millions of sperms into the woman. But only one or two, every now and then they don't come at the same time, but when you got a twin, you got one will come before the other one. So it's not at the same time, but they so close. But two sperms got through, you know. The rest of them seeds, man, can you imagine millions? It's like millions, man, 6 million or something like that. Now that could be the reason why uh, a guy could have more than one wife, because he can impregnate 1 million women, you know, or more with them sperms. Because that's every time you having sex or making love to your spouse, that's 1 million shooting out, not just one time. Every time you make love or have sex, you shooting out millions of sperms. Now some people could they have about 14 babies and they, you know, they could have 20, you know. So that's why some cats got to get another wife, because he can have 20 by her, 30 by her or more. You know, you don't want to wear her out, you know, having babies. Y'all ain't never thought about stuff like that. Y'all don't be thinking, man. Y'all be tripping. That's why uh, sex is sacred, because you can produce life, you know. And the only time you really supposed to have sex is when you want to produce yourself, reproduce yourself. Now, what we done did was we done turned sex into recreation. Then we done turned it into commerce. You know, we 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 make money off of it. You know, it's not sacred no more. We just have sex all the time now. You know, and so in the Quran, it tells you the most appropriate time to have sex. You know, you just don't be having sex, man, because it feel good all the time. Allah made it feel good, the creator. But he set the pattern. The creator set the pattern. He's the prototype. You see? He's the prototype. And so it's a pattern now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, we've been here for trillions and trillions of years, man. He said the Caucasian only been here for 6,000 years. A little over 6,000 years. 2,000 years he was in the caves. Man, it's some deep stuff, man. If you learn, you get the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and learn same thing I'm teaching you. Farrakhan be setting it out, but you don't know you know, when to believe Farrakhan, because Farrakhan didn't meet Master Farah Muhammad. So he don't have no idea what Master Farah Muhammad told the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad used to have one-on-one sessions with his ministers, like Malcolm. But then he started having group sessions with them, you know. So they'll never know. The only one that knew some of what Master Farad told the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the Supreme Minister, the spiritual and blood brother of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his wife, because they was back there. She's the secretary. She was secretary. They was back there uh, in the little house in Hamtramck when Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. When he taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Supreme Minister John Muhammad was back there then. Sometimes. And sometimes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would tell Supreme Minister John Muhammad what Master Farad Muhammad told him. He would teach that to Supreme Minister John Muhammad. And we never know, you know, because peace and blessings be upon Supreme Minister John Muhammad, we'll never know what he held back. See, because they can't tell it to you all at once like I'm trying to do. They have to bring you along because, you know, you got questions. Some don't sound right to you, you know, you got questions, but the way that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would teach you, your questions will be answered if you just listen long enough. You know, because really what they call religion is really a science. Then you say, well, that's Scientology. No. The word religion don't really mean what the white man tell you it means. Now, if you notice that the word R-E, that's a word, R-E, ray. You could say, change the spelling up a little bit and say R-A-Y. It comes from sun rays, the sun rays. Then you got Ra, same thing. See how you could take words, you know, and enunciate them different, but they mean the same thing. But you could put a twist on it and deviate from the real meaning by the way you spell it sometimes. So Ray, R-E, that word is in repeat. You got R-E, then you got Pete, repeat. The sun repeats itself. The sun rises, then the sun sets. Now that word set, that's the Egyptian word. Ray is the Egyptian word, which really is a Kemet. The word Egypt is the white man's word. But the word Kemet is really the correct way to describe what they call ancient Egypt. You know. And so all of that's ancient Aramaic, which comes Arabic, which is the black man's tongue. Or you can say that that's really African. Where they at now, blowing up the Palestinians, the kingdom come. Yeah, man, I've been teaching for a minute. So have you thought about how that when we had Black Wall Street and we had other Tulsa, other towns, black towns, where we used to be very prosperous, and the white man came and blew them up and would come into your house and rape your woman and drag you out the house and hang you, torture you, terrorize you. You know, they don't talk about that. The white man ain't gonna talk about that. But that's how they doing over there in Palestine, terrorizing them people. But now they don't say nothing about us over here. And the Arabs over here don't say nothing about us. They blend in with the white man, ripping us off for our money, you know, charging us interest. The Quran say, you know, the Bible and the Quran say you're not supposed to charge interest. You know, they Uncle Tom Arabs, you know. So now it's getting done to y'all. How they did us, but y'all don't say nothing about that. You know, y'all down with the white man. You know. But this right here, what's happening to y'all over there in Palestine, it's gonna make y'all, you gonna say Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad before it's over with. Because this gonna escalate. And they doing it, they killing your people off, Palestinians. They're killing your people off right in front of the UN, right in front of the world courts. And they're making it seem like it's justified. That's how they did us. But back in them days, they didn't have YouTube. You know, so half of the world didn't know what was going on with us until they started having cameras and seeing us on the news marching with Martin Luther King. That's when they started taking notice. But they still don't say nothing about that. You know, and George Floyd, when they killed him, that went on all around the world. But look how long it's been since they've been doing that. 400 or 500 years, man. They've been doing us like this. They still got, I don't know if they still got them, but recently they had people still in slavery, black people still in slavery in them hills down south, up in them hills, scared to leave the plantation, treating them the same way they treated us when, you know, back in the day, lynching us, you know, killing us, raping our women when they want to. Donald B. Elijah Muhammad brought that out in one of his lectures. Y'all rather listen to Farrakhan. Farrakhan don't know what Elijah know, man. And he getting more views than Donald B. Elijah Muhammad. Said in them don't even give. Said he don't give him no play. Give Donald B. Elijah Muhammad no play. Sinetta don't give him no play every now and then. Matter of fact, he trying to get you out of listening to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He referring you to Khalid. Khalid don't know what Honorable Elijah Muhammad know. You know, that's who y'all should be listening to. And by the book, Message to the Black Man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get up on this, man. So you can get out this nightmare. You know? You done brainwashed yourself in believing that everything gonna be all right. You know, I just pray to Jesus and everything gonna be all right. Jesus even told you, man, what time it was. If you read it right, I could go in there and show in the scriptures now and show you where Jesus called him the devil, called him Satan. Who do you think he was talking to? An invisible person? Just like y'all think it's an invisible God. Y'all don't think God is man? You don't think devil is man? The devil is the white man, the Caucasian, the artificial man. He's not the original man. We the original people of the planet Earth. He's artificial. That's why he got AI. He want to put his mind into some iron or some steel or something, so his body won't never wear out. But his mind is in there, but it ain't working right, you know. But if he keep on trying, he might do it and get rid of you, you know. And you keep marrying off him into him, pretty soon you're gonna be his color. It might take a couple of 100,000 years, but that's what'll keep him here, because you love him so much, you know, you loyal to him, and he's dogging you out. But you're scared. And see, Allah he don't use no scared brothers. You know, scared brothers and sisters. So y'all see how all them brothers that talked against Donald Elijah Muhammad, young Pharaoh, Polite, you know, they not, you know, they not there no more. Dr. York, when he first started, he started, you know, Dr. York used to go to meetings. Huey Newton and the Panthers used to go to meetings. Jesse Jackson used to go to meetings and sit up under down and be like Muhammad and get that knowledge. They get a little bit of knowledge, then they break away. You know. Even Dr. Martin Luther King set up under down and be like Muhammad. But Dr. Martin Luther King was beginning to dig on what Down Elijah Muhammad was talking about. And if he would have dug on what Down Elijah Muhammad talked about, he started talking about it too. You know, I remember a speech he gave. He said he was wrong about the white man, but he's leading his people into a burning house. Right after that, that's when they knocked him off. You know, because the white man, once you get hip to him, like Michael, he called the white man the devil, Sonia the devil. They knocked him off. Then another one, Prince. Prince was listening to Bill Russell. I mean, not Bill Russell. Dick Gregory. He was listening to Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory was talking about chemtrails. Y'all don't even talk about that no more. And so Prince was talking to, I forgot that brother's name, on television. And he got hip to what was going on. You know? And somebody gave him the wrong dosage of fentanyl. Killed him. You know? So when the brothers get hip to even James Brown, they off James Brown. Now, you can't prove that though. That's hard to prove. And Sam Cooke. They still investigating Sam Cooke. Tupac, you know, they making it look like gang to it. What about Nipsey Hussle? You know, y'all think gangs be doing that. Well, you can say this too. The government do employ a whole lot of gangs, you know, a whole lot of gang bangers to extort you, you know. Now these brothers here don't have no conscience. They dead to the devil. I mean, they dead to their own people. You know, every man for themselves. You know, but they don't know you being played on, man. You being played on too. That's why they could use you, man, to put you in jail when they want to, and then they could use you, get you to snitch on everybody. They might even get you to commit murder. You know. Remember that DMX in that movie Belly, when he told him to off the minister. In the movie, he couldn't do it. You know. But they, you know, in the movies, they tell you who they are, and what they're gonna do in the future. They start talking about robots way back in Lost in Space. You know, Lost in Space. Remember that? Lost in Space? Y'all don't know about that, but y'all still see Lost in Space. Robots, man. Now they're making robots, artificial intelligence, look just like you. Captain Kirk, beam me up, Scotty. That's where the smartphone come from. Cell phone with the flip on it. Computers and all like that, man. They've been had that stuff for a long time. I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go out with the dog style. You have been listening to Elder Blacklight, Elder Brother Blacklight, with the kind of flavor that can save you. To get out the devil's name. Get one of the attributes of Allah. I'm gonna teach you about righteousness. That's a power. It's not just you trying to be right. That power is connected to the electromagnetic flux. Cheat. That's cheat. Our black light, telling the truth, and passing the mic. Truth should be told, and not so. Cosmic soul, metaphysics, metasonic, vibrations. Intelligent vibrations, divine order, that's peace. Assalamu alaikum. Allahu Akbar.